guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Leah. If you're new here, I am a portrait photographer in Ohio, but today we are changing it up and we are here in Vero Beach, Florida. Today we're going to be doing a photography basics part 2. We're going to be going over the differences in focal lengths, starting with the 35, 50, and 85 millimeter, and I am shooting on my Canon R6. Our lovely model today is going to be my sister Ruth, who is in this lovely blue dress. We're going to go ahead and start with the 35 millimeter 1.4. Let's go ahead and start shooting.
Alright guys, so we are here shooting with Ruth, and I kind of wanted to do a voiceover on what I am doing while I shoot with this lens. I love this lens for portraits, and it's such a good versatile lens for traveling as well. One of my favorite things about this lens is the fact that I don't have to be super far from my subject. I feel like it's a little bit easier to build a relationship when you can kind of direct your model closer to them. With the 85, you'll see later, I have to stand pretty far back to get a full body or waist up shot. Now with the 35 being a wider angle lens, that means you're going to have less compression, making your background not as blurry as say the 85 millimeter, which we will see later. However, with this lens, you are going to run into some distortion with it being so wide, especially when photographing human faces, so just make sure you're aware of that because it will make their face appear a little bit more narrow and longer than it actually is in real life, but especially when your subject is closer to the camera. So just keep an eye out for that, and this is such a great lens.
Go ahead and move on to the 50 millimeter. This is the 50 millimeter 1.8. This is a super cheap lens that you can get. It is the Canon version. This is going to be super close to what our natural eye sees. We're going to go ahead and start shooting with this one.
The 50 millimeter, or the nifty 50 as we photographers call it, is the lens that is said to be most similar to what our human eye naturally sees. The 50 is a perfect mix of gorgeous blurred backgrounds while keeping a bit of a real life look to it. I find this lens overall absolutely beautiful for portraits when I want something that just captures a moment exactly how it was in real life. And the 50 is a really great starter lens and comes in at such an affordable price. I know you can find it for under $200 now for the Canon version. I also want to point out, you'll notice her face just looks a little bit more rounded and not as narrow as the 35, and looks just a bit more true to life. Now, I really do love my tighter and wider lenses for some reason that I cannot explain, but I truly do want to start shooting with the 50 more and probably upgrade to a lower aperture because it is such a great lens for just getting those real raw moments in life.
And move on to the 85 1.4. This is the Canon version. It is going to be super tight, a lot of compressed backgrounds, so the background's going to be super blurred out. Let's go ahead and start shooting. I shook my head like I knew it. I know. I saw that.
Last but not least is the 85 millimeter, and this is probably my number 2 lens at the moment, but it's such a close second to the 35. The 85 millimeter compression from being a tighter lens makes your backgrounds absolutely disappear in the best way possible. It's kind of crazy. In the higher millimeter lenses, you get more compression, and the more compression you have means those blurry backgrounds come to life. The 85 is an absolute gorgeous lens for portraits when you really want to bring your subject out from the background or literally make your background disappear. If you want to make a boring or ugly location look good with this lens, you can. It's kind of crazy. I use the 85 for all of my senior photo shoots, and it is really the sharpest lens I have besides the 35. With the 85, you'll find the human face becomes a bit fuller and rounded rather than the 35's narrow look. But personally, I go back and forth all the time, but I love this lens, people. It is so good. Just remember, with these tighter lenses, you do have to stand further back from your subject, so just remember that when you're trying to direct your model, it is going to be a bit more difficult when trying to get full body or waist up shots. We have finally made it to the comparison round of kind of showing each lens next to each other. Something I want you to really look at in these two different photo examples of comparisons is the greens behind her. You'll see in the 85, they're kind of just a bit more like someone took an oil paint and washed over it, and then in the 35, they're a bit sharper. And especially in these ones, take a look at the grass behind her that's kind of in the lower half of the frame. You'll see in the 85, it's really just washed over and melting away. And the 35, you can still see those details there. So if you're really wanting to show off your background with your subject in it, then a 35 is a great way to do that.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know which one you like down below and which one is your favorite. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up as well. Be sure to hit subscribe so you never miss out on any more videos from me. Thank you so much for being my model today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.